Straight up.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't left you without a dope beat to step two, step two, step two, step two. Hey. I'm really hyped, but I think I really farted in this room. I can really smell it, like in real time too. But it's okay though, because I want you to know that is a fresh organic fart. I went to Outback with my wife and my mother-in-law today, and we went ham on the endless soup and salad. And let me just tell you, Outback endless soup and salad is on point. But today I got exploited for two side salads that we didn't catch to the end because we had to go pick up our daughter from school. So shout out to Outback. You guys got a nice little tip. And got charged for two salads I should not have been charged for. But listen, the service was impeccable. Service was off the hook. But I know you ain't want to hear all that, but I wanted to share it with you because as I was rotating back and forth, I could totally smell it. And unlike Unwind with John Lee from 1983, I am totally engaged, totally up, and I'm like in a good mood. I hope you guys have been paying attention and watching, or maybe you guys have unfollowed me. Either or, it's not going to stop me. I'm utilizing Restream all month long. I paid for the upgrade to the subscription. So it's a must. I utilize this technology and I've been able to do a couple things I wasn't able to do before. So don't worry because I will be rebroadcasting this. And I can't wait to reshare this with you guys over and 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 over again because it's going to happen. Just so a little FYI. But yeah, as you guys can see from the attire, X-Men got released. This is the first time I've seen animated. Well, this is the first time they have. Well, I can't even say that. Let me just be all the way truthful and transparent. This is not a reboot. This is a continuation to the original X-Men. When, if I got my calculations together, which I want to do, when did the original X-Men series end? I think it was 96. That's why they have it. So X-Men the anime series will go on to air 5 seasons, culminating in the 1997 series finale episode Graduating Day, which I got on my phone and I watched. So I haven't seen the X-Men show that I can recall on a Wednesday because it originally came out on Saturday on Fox Kids since 97. In 97, I was like roughly 13. Dude, you know how old I am right now? Do you want to know how old I am? Like, this is roughly 13, 14. So that means we're talking 26, 27 years. Yes, I'm 40. I know. Don't let the hair fool you. By the way, if you want to, just so we can go ahead and put it out there, because I got these QR codes, I want to let you know in case you want to, you can always support the channel, support me, throw me a little in my cash app. You know what I'm saying? But beyond that, I'm over here looking. I'm like, dang, what was talking about QR codes? I got captions and all this other stuff. It says people, design. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, you can definitely dag, I removed all of those. For some reason, all those got removed. So anyhow, I was gonna tell you guys, go check me out on my whatchamacallit, which would have been my Amazon, but I gotta put all those plugs back in because they're no longer there. But I woke up this morning, I took my daughter to school, our daughter to school, smacked my hand for saying it like that. I took our daughter to school and I went to Wendy's and I was disappointed because anywhere in Montgomery I go to go get food, I'm really, really disappointed for the most part. That's why I leave 5-star reviews for the few places that don't disappoint me, like Outback today. The service was phenomenal. The guy was great. I gave him more than a 18% tip, only for my wife to analyze the receipt and be like, they charged us for more. I'm like, when I did the math in my head, I was like, because they got to charge for the premium charges for the premium salads. We all got premium salads, premiums, soups, and all that good stuff. I was like, I knew they was going to have to charge me, but they charged another $6 charge. So I'm like, hey, if I would have knew that, I would have just given them like a $4 tip and just call it what it was. But hey, that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I was going to Wendy's, get to Wendy's. I go and order a Baconator because it's X-Men Day. I'm really excited. And I get a Baconator and I give my wife a new breakfast burrito. And I was like, what the heck? Let's go for the upcharge. Give me two of them frosty brew coffee things. I had no idea that the frosty brew that I was accustomed to getting every blue moon is no more. Now they got a frosty cold brew where I think they take the frosty and they mix it with the coffee. Anyhow, they put it in this little small container. I'm expecting that big old that frosty container, which is no more. But you know what? I can Google it and look it up. Frosty cold brew versus frosty, I think it was like the frosty coffee. And I was really, really taken by this. I did not like, so it's the iced coffee versus the cold brew. And I'm really gonna tell them frosty cream cold brew review. I'm just gonna tell them, like, look, man, just bring back the frosty with the coffee, because that was winning. That was something people can look forward to. This crap you got now is not hitting. So in addition to that, I got the honey bun. The Cinnabon. You got a Cinnabon there. I spent like $25. By the time I got out the driveway, the food was cold. But it is what it is. I just wanted to numb on some food, eat some food, and watch, X-Men on Disney Plus. So I get home and I'm like, okay, I can't do TikTok with all the other social media platforms because right now it's you know all the social media against TikTok for whatever reason. So I'm like literally on TikTok and I'm doing like a live reaction. I'm like, I seen a guy do it before and he got like mad engagement, but I'm like, I'm nobody, but I'm gonna try it. So like the whole time I watch X-Men, you could have found me on my TikTok just doing a live review. And like I had someone watch me for 57 minutes. And I'm not gonna say what they were gonna doing, but they weren't engaging with me and they didn't give me no hearts. So I had to let them know about themselves. Like, look, you see me, I'm dieting in reverse order, and you're not supporting the arts. I got no hearts, no nothing. I had like everybody always want to get on there and be like, hey man, can I join you? And can I be on your TikTok? And then want to get on there and then be like, let's do the heart competition. Or who gets the more what? And we never engage with each other and there's never no continuity. It's not like we're even having a discussion. So I'm like, this is crazy. It's disappointed with that. But what I was not disappointed with is this. X-Men 97 hit. And it took a moment. They only gave us 2 episodes, but it hit on all levels. And before I start, let me go ahead and run the trailer for you. And no, you won't hear no sound because at the end of the day, I would like to think I might be potentially able to monetize. So let's run this. Let's do it. Let's flip the screen. All right, so here we go. We're right here. The trailer's about to begin. Let's take a look at it. They got the old school TV, insinuating the VHS tape. Check Saturday, your local listings. You remember this. Now, this is important because this is the end of season 5, episode 10, right? And this is Charles Xavier. And what you might not know is that Charles is not dead. Charles didn't die. His boo thing came and grabbed him up, right? So, Charles is saying all his things, his people crying. You see Cyclops holding Jean Grey morph there. The whole building. Magneto take the helmet off. Now, you got to understand, there's a reason why Magneto wears the helmet. And if you are a Marvel X-Men fanatic, you understand it's because he don't want to be mind controlled by Professor Charles. So this keeps Professor Charles at bay. That's the only reason he wears a helmet. Other than that, he gonna let all that gorgeous white hair flow. Like, look at it flowing in the wind, right? So there we go, the VHS and the scrambling. Now I want to go ahead and give you a little tidbit because the X-Men is my show. So one of the things you will notice about season 4, season 5 of X-Men, the animated series that played from 92 to 97, is this: that they took the series to another production studio for the final season, and subsequently it was only 10 episodes. And up until the last 2 episodes, we want to say like 8 of those episodes were subpar in comparison to what you were getting, especially like with season 1 through 4. Because there's a lot of civil rights reference, especially when you take the FOH, Friends of Humanity, and you take in Magneto and Professor Xavier's relationship. It can be insinuated, and because I'm a black man with likes that you can purchase on Amazon, I am all about this conspiracy theory where the X-Men and the civil rights, like you can see the association. It's kind of dope. But let's get back to the trailer. So yeah, they getting ready to pop up the Marvel animation. You're like, wow, you're looking at the graphics. They pay homage. Well, let me tell you, they pay homage alone. These graphics are superior, and they got a lot of sneakiness to them. And because my daughter made me recently get Crunchyroll, and let me tell you, it don't take long before they come out and they show you they mean they business. But we're gonna go ahead and just break all this down. And I'm just gonna stop right here and start this off. One of the things I dislike the most, besides Beast's voice, because you remember, let me show you guys something. I want to show you something, right? This is just a fanboy. My wife would tell you, literally the moment we got together, one of my first purchases, when I was able to afford it, this was before I knew Disney Plus was coming out and all that other stuff, was X-Men. I bought every season of X-Men. Like, so you can sit there and see, okay, right there, that's season 1, that's season 2, 3, 4, and 5. I got all 5 seasons on my phone before Disney Plus ever came out. I am that kind of guy. That's why my beard resembles Wolverine. I got the pork chops, maybe just a little bit more going on. But I'm not going to make no reference to any DC intellectual property because that ain't disrespecting Marvel, X-Men, and Stan Lee right now. Ain't gonna happen, okay? So, besides Beast's voice, what I dislike the most about this iteration or this continuation of the animated series into now X-Men 97 is this: the theme music. They changed it. It's subtle, and honestly, it sucks. It's not the same. I wish they could have kept the same. The same is just iconic. So they showing us a lot of the graphics. Wolverine's even still saying "Hey, bub" and things of that nature. There goes the Jet. Now that's one of the things I noticed the most is Storm. You see, Storm got a mohawk. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Jubilee looks definitely more Asian than before. Jean Grey got a baby. Rogue looks a little bit more pale. Now this is dope. You take the animanium and you take Gambit's ability to charge, and you telling me now Wolverine has the ability to go ahead and let a charge off with his claws, which I thought was like fantastic, never before shown. And I watched all 5 seasons and showed you guys I just had it. Now, there's some differences between Charles Xavier and what we're seeing right here. And one of the big changes is Cyclops' approach. Of course, this is after the world thinks Xavier's dead. And spoiler alert, you shouldn't be on my platform watching me if you're not familiar with the X-Men, because I ain't spoiled nothing. Because if you just happen to stumble upon 1 and 2 right now, they're going to tell you everything. Xavier's dead as far as the world goes. But what they don't tell you is how far time has lapsed since 97 to the new series. And so I want to go ahead and give it to you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, drumroll, 1 year. Within 1 year, because you see at the beginning, let me bring it back to the beginning of this trailer. You sit there and see Xavier in the hospital, right? You see Gambit, Rogue holding on to Gambit, Beast, Wolverine, Cyclops. Now look at Jubilee. Jubilee looked like, life had got with her. She had a haircut, and that haircut wasn't working. And those light colored blue jeans wasn't really hitting. Jean Grey, I know her cheeks are sweating. And I know she can't wear that often, even though it's probably like form fitting to her face. That cannot be comfortable. Like, how do you just then to go even further, Wolverine, like, bro, how are you wearing that full get up? Xavier's in the hospital, and you got a full costume on, and Jubilee got like a shirt with these gloves. I get it's the character, but it says a lot. And then like you even see, right, besides Storm, there go Morph. Morph, he don't look like that, even though he has the ability to look like that. And you guys remember the original animated series? Morph was out after episode 1 for a grip to like Mr. Sinister approached and came back in. And they holding hands and all that stuff. I'm gonna get to more of that. But what I want to point out, right? Look at that face. My wife knows that face. I make that face a lot. But look. Let's go here. Let's go. Getting back to it. You see Magneto's with them already, right? You see Storm. She has a full do, no mohawk. Jean Grey ain't got a belly bump. So it's some time, because obviously within the first 2 episodes, Nathan Summers is here. And who's Nathan Summers? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Summers is the child of Jean Grey and Cyclops, okay? And he pops up like literally episode 2. All right, so they ain't playing no games, right? But like I said, let's put the emphasis on my man right here. That is Mr. Magneto. Okay, let me try to bring him in some more. He's really kind of like squashed. So you guys are seeing the remnants of his gray hair. But Magneto was there. And this is only important because guess what happens? A year goes by. Scott, Cyclops, is running the X-Men. They got my boy Wolverine as the hurt sidekick. Now you know how they do Wolverine in the movies. He's the lead guy. He's coming back out. He's the reason why I'm Batman. No, I wanted to say it because no matter what, I was like doing it earlier with my daughter. I was like, I'm Wolverine, but I'm Batman. Just sounds better. No matter what. And you know something funny? You know what they say about this mask? It's 2 Batmans kissing each other. So look at that. Do you see? Look, that's one Batman. That's another Batman. 2 Batmans kissing each other make Wolverine. So I'm Batman. I wish my nephew was here. He'll laugh at that. Thank you, and shout out to the one person that's watching my video as I'm doing it in real time, because yes, I'm doing this live. Yes, I'm doing this live. Yes, I'm doing this live. So, let me get some water real quick. That lemon water hit. Magneto comes back. Let me just play the video. Like I said, no sound. I'm trying to monetize, yo. I was trying to get paid. You feel me? But the thing is, so Magneto comes back, and Magneto about that life. He said, "Look, Charles gave this to me. His last will and testament. I got the school. I got everything, right? And this is where things just change. That's why I just stopped there. That explosion. You like how I timed that? You can't tell me Magneto wasn't Malcolm X. My man came up in there and said, "Look, I'm about to run the school, whether you like it or not." Scott was like, over, whatever, whatever. But real talk, him and Jean just got with the dude that killed Professor X, or was alleged from the FOH, the redhead guy. In the opening episode, the FOH has sitting on type of gadgetry, and all the gadgets in the Sentinel operation from Trask was taken, and it was supposed to be shut down. But when G Gray went inside dude's mind, she pregnant. She like, yo, I'm going up in there. Cyclops like, look, this ain't Charles School no more. Hey, we ain't about that life. We see what you will do to us. So listen, homie, we gonna dig up in that head. We gonna extract that information, and we gonna handle you properly. And then in the middle, Jean's like, "Oh, Scott, ah!" And she has this moment, right? And it was something about their kid, but they found out Trask was still in existence, and the mother master mode was still in existence, and instantly they went off to battle. Like they got into their little, they got into their little airplane, and all of a sudden my dude Archangel came out. Archangel ain't have the blue and the red, blue and pink outfit. He had the golden locks, hair flowing. He ain't have no lines or anything. But when the plane exploded, he flew to save, the sidekick being Wolverine, or should I call him Logan? Because they really had my guy looking like Logan, not a Wolverine at all. Like, listen, it's one thing, because we all know Logan's that dude in the movies, but Logan was like, hey, Jean and Cyclops gonna leave us because they're pregnant. They're gonna have the little picket fence life and blah blah blah. I mean, like, he was really in his feelings. Like, if I knew his zodiac sign, and I could probably find it out on Wikipedia, but I'm just gonna guess he really came off like a Cancer. And to me, that I'm offended because I am from that zodiac sign. Logan was being real Logan. He was almost second to Gambit. Gambit literally didn't want to get dirty in the first round of fighting because he was making beignets. I don't know if that was just a reference to Nola or wherever the case is, but he's really like, I don't want to know parts of this because I want to make these beignets with a crop top on. First off, Gambit, you're older than I am. You about to make a whole thing of fried bread with powdered sugar, and you wearing a crop top. I went to Outbacks today, and I had a few salads. I had the chopped salad, I had the iceberg salad, and I had part of a Caesar side salad with a French onion soup and a chili. And bro, I feel like I put on 10 pounds. You feel me? I'm wearing my hoodie right now because I'm trying to sweat and build a sweat and build my heart rate up. I hope you don't believe that. That's just a joke. But that's just how my mind works. So, as I was saying, Logan was being real Logan. He was being real extra, and he was really in his feelings. But the Archangel saved him, and Cyclops did the most out coldish thing ever, right? This man literally looked at the ground, looked like the Grand Canyon, a whole bunch of rocks. He took his visor, he's like, psst, and he landed from the air like so like I was really impressed. And at this point in time, you can start to see the animation take form. And I mean, the animation went from paying homage to going into, where I'm going into like an anime kind of feel. With the 97 X-Men, this was really, really dope. So they get there. Gambit uses his powers. He charges up the antimanium, Wolverine takes his claw. Wolverine's running with his claw. He's like, whoosh, and he just cuts off Master Mold's head because Jean Grey had this like insight and was like, oh, it's still here and blah, blah, blah. But that has nothing on episode 2. Because when Magneto pulls up, Magneto about that business. Now, you know, the thing about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X is this. Malcolm X is going to protect his own, right? By any means necessary. Meaning that I will use these weapons to let you know you're not going to run up on me. Versus Martin Luther King said, hey, nonviolent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to fight you back with the same energy you give. So Magneto get there, realize like, look, Charles wants me to do this. I'm gonna be a leader. Some special forces, a blonde lady came out using all her white privilege. She's like, yo, I got special guns for you. Magneto said, you got special guns for me? What about these chapters? So he pulled up all 3. Lady's like, dang, I didn't think of it like that. So he said, look, are you gonna give me my due process? She said, yeah. I mean, this was the quickest. This was literally the quickest court hearing I ever seen before, right? They had the court hearing, right? It was crazy. Magneto, right there. You see Magneto? Yes. Once again, we talking about attire. My man changed up the whole getup. He's not looking like he's in a bulletproof suit. He ain't got a helmet on. He ain't worried about Jean Grey. He's like, Jean said it to Cyclops like this, and he put it out there. Hey, I can't tell you what he's thinking, but in a moment. The next moment it could change. And the next moment after that, Cyclops like, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. I'm like, dang, Cyclops, you coming off kind of aggressive to your lady. She pregnant with Nathan. She about to have your baby. And you telling her, check his mind. Check his mind every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds. Jean, you better check. I'm like, Cyclops, I know you got a laser, dog. But Cyclops caught that business by a human, right? Cyclops caught that business by a human. So, you know, Sabretooth's son is the over the FOH, and he's the one getting the credit for doing something we know he can't do, because we know Charles Xavier's boo thing took him up into the friendly skies, right? He out there with, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy right now. He out there chilling, you know, on one of those Celestials' heads or whatever. But Charles is good. Charles is away from everything. Charles is relaxing. Okay? So Cyclops is over here giving Magneto the 3rd degree. Magneto come out here on some real G stuff and said, look, man, put the cuffs on me, put the thing on me, blah, blah, blah. I go to this due process meeting. So he get there. Cyclops goes to the hearing with like half of the X-Men, right? The only X-Men that stayed back was Wolverine. So once again, Logan is trying to play certified lover boy on some Drake stuff and still like, hey, Jean, you know, I know you pregnant. I know I'm like 500 years old, but Jean, I still love you. Now, I forgot to mention this, right? While we playing all this, I want to show you some things. So that's Magneto, right? And we got Angry Cyclops. That's what I'm gonna call him. Angry Cypops. I think that's better. Angry Cypops, because he a daddy now, right? And he was real angry, and he's really on some, he was probably like on some Aries type stuff. Like, yo, you know what? We're gonna leave, right? We gonna leave. Xavier gone. I'm about that life. I want to be like a little Malcolm X. I want people to ride for me, but you know, Rogue won't even change out of her uniform and play basketball. She's gonna put a cutoff top on while we playing basketball right now, which literally makes no sense to me whatsoever. How certain characters change outfits to play basketball games, and certain characters just put on a t-shirt on top of your outfit. Like, you already fight in that outfit, Rogue, but now you gonna put a basketball shirt on it? And Gambit out here running around here with crop tops and making beignets and got ponytails in his head. It's a lot of energy. And like I said, I love Marvel. And I don't know if it's MCU, it's MUU. It's just a lot of you-hoo. It's a lot going on. So like I said, you got Cypops out here. Same cut scene, Jean Grey but she's totally different. She got the baby bump now. The baby's right there. And like I said, they ain't waste no time. By episode 2, she done popped out the baby. But she popped out the baby when Magneto's giving his speech after Trash in episode 1 was like, this is the evolution we have to stop. And Trash is like full size, unlike the movies when they got my dude from the Game of Thrones in. And he was handled real quickly, like real quickly. Like, we just hope that, Cy Pops was on his I'm about that life. Like, I can't keep letting these villains get more airtime. Like, there's gonna be another villain, right? There's gonna be another villain after this villain, and I really need to stay focused. But they got the thing going on, and then here we go, my girl Storm. So like I said, a year has passed. Magneto's no longer wearing the helmet because he ain't got to worry about Professor Xavier getting all up in his head. Storm done went with a mohawk, okay? Jean Grey got a baby. And while they at the club looking for the new Jubilee. By the way, let me just go ahead and run this. Let's just play this. I want to show you Jubilee, right? Because like Wolverine's still the same cutscene. Morph, okay, like I said, you see Morph. They gave no explanation as to why Morph got this generic head now. I don't know, they just trying to save. This Disney. Disney got long money, so I doubt they trying to save. I know they're going to give an explanation, but it's probably giving, homage to the anime world that we now live in because I got a subscription to Crunchyroll. So I know it's real, and I don't. The same show I didn't want to watch on Cartoon Network, my daughter has been watching now, Dragon Ball Z. I should have realized like 4 years ago when she bought me Dragon Ball Z for Christmas that she was really into Dragon Ball Z. But like I said, I had a lot to learn. But that's Morph. And Morph is morphing, okay? Let's fast forward. Rogue literally looks a little bit lighter. And there's a backstory now with Rogue and Magneto. And I'm just going to go ahead and spoiler alert, right? Rogue and Magneto can touch hands and nothing happens to them. So you put 2 and 2 together. Rogue be craving human touch and Magneto can touch her. So, and she from the South, and she might want the old thing back. I don't know, just put a ring on the finger. All right, so we got Rogue. Like I said, Beast, yo, please use AI. Bring back, just give me Kelsey Grammer, right? Just say whoever this voice was, I don't know what he's done. He might have not used it or whatever. It's not the same voice. If you go back to the original series and listen now, they don't sound anything alike, at least to me. I could be wrong. You could disagree with me. It is what it is. We could talk about it over a piece of apple pie. Straight up. So fast forward, boom, Gambit. Like I said, Gambit is in the sucker side of things with me too. I think he's still hurt because Shannon Tatum couldn't play him and didn't get the green light for that movie. So he's still feeling it. Like he's taking that energy, from not getting his movie made to, the small screen again and being like, oh, I'm good enough to be part of the X-Men 97, but I wasn't good enough to get my own show, my own movie. So I think that's what he's. I think you can see it in him. He got some sucker stain all up on him. And then let's go ahead. Boom. This is the one I wanted to talk about. Now we seen what she looked like in the original animated series, and we see her now. And let me just tell you, Jubilee. I know she was adopted, but I think they went all the way and made her really Asian. And I'm saying that because if you look at the original series, I thought she was just a white girl, honestly. But she's Asian. I like diversity. And, that's always part of the MCU. Bump the good storytelling, inclusion for all. That's why we got Echo. Yes, that was a shot. And then, okay, shout out to them. So they was like, Jubilee's Asian. Let's give you Bishop. We giving you Bishop. We're cutting the hair, modernizing Bishop. Okay, cool. So you see right there, they even bring, that's the old school, right, with the Warlocks. I'm going to let you know, they got a cameo in episode 2. Magneto coming over there, hitting them with a humble pie. He's over there trying to do some stuff for Genosha still. Like, he's still trying to move that Genosha. For real. So, boom. We got Jean Grey, the Dark Phoenix. I hope they do this better than the actual movie because you guys remember that was the last time they had an X-Men movie. I think it was like 2019. So it's been a long time since we had a live action X-Men movie. And the Dark Phoenix, you really got to do it right. And I know Disney has the rights, and I don't know, Kevin Feige's out the door or whatever, but everybody has their turn. And I hope they can really get this storyline together and do better because, there's a lot of things I could say. It's just not for me to say right now because I'm a fan. Okay, I'm a fan, and I hope for the best. Okay, so there we go. Jean Grey with the explosion. I love that cutscene, but you see, they did the modifications because look who's running right now. That's Bishop. He's running with the crew, right? So that's kind of cool. That's cool. That's cool. There goes Bishop with the long hair going through the time vortex. Morph right there. It's cool. Popping off, popping off, popping off. Magneto with the helmet. Magneto on some asteroid. So let me go ahead and get back to part two. So as I told you in part one, the FOH is out here and they got signal type technology. They ain't saying who their backer is, but let's call it spade a spade. I think he's going to be Mr. Sinister. I think Mr. Sinister got a lot to do with it. So they got a new guy, right? They're having this public powwow. Like I told you, Scott's away from his boo thing, right? Logan's there. Logan gets the call. Hey, Logan, I'm pregnant. So Logan has to take Jean Grey to the hospital. In the midst of everything happening, FOH, Friends of Humanity, who I would like to refer to as potentially the KKK, trying to suppress black people, ran up on Malcolm X, and let's just say this was Larry Duke or Larry David or whoever the person was that was like the head of the KKK. We're going to call him the executioner. He comes out. He got all this heavy artillery, right? He beats up Scott, which is Cypops, and you know what he does? He beats him up so bad, Rogue airlifts Cypops to be at the birth of his child without really getting verification that they was going to let Magneto go. See, what ended up happening was they had like the power thing on Magneto, and they end up realizing real quick the people who had the powers were like, why are FOH attacking us? Like, we ain't do nothing. And Magneto gives his spill. And in the middle of this, the executioner come out. He takes his thing, boom. And Storm does the Kevin Costner bodyguard. I'm going to run to you. So runs to him and takes the shot. And the shot happens to be a power zapper. Now they got technology. If a mutant gets hit with his power, Storm controls Mother Nature. Her powers are gone. She's rendered useless. Okay, they got the technology to stop. And Beast is like, I'm trying to do something, but right now I don't have a clue as to how to fix this. So, long story short, Magneto sees this. He says, see, I try to do things your way, and I try to do things the right way, and this is the things you give me. So what he do? He takes the panel, he takes the lady with the privilege, and he gets all of them because he mad what happened to Storm. This is like when a white man with power loves a black woman, right? But this is like Malcolm X and seeing something happen to Betty Shabazz, and he like, all right, I'm gonna take all y'all, put them in a bubble, float them up, get them there faster than Elon Musk can get you in a rocket ship. And he's like, what are you gonna do with us? And they blow him breath. And he's like, take a look. And he gives him this amazing speech, right? And I'm like, yo, I gotta watch this back with my daughter in a second. This speech is amazing. By the way, I got this back massager. I ain't got the link, but if you go to my link tree, click on that. You can go to my Amazon store and order that if you like. Definitely support me while I try to give you this 411, right? So Magneto's like, look, my girl hurt. She ain't got no power because y'all deemed us a threat because we're black. Because we are mutants and we are the evolution, not the evolution, okay? The evolution of the Homo sapiens. And I'm like, yo, he gives a fantastic speech. These people not only realize the error in their way, they're like, yo, we need Magneto. He's a level 5 mutant. You can't really mess with him. So this is what we're going to do right here. We're going to go ahead and vindicate all these crimes against society and all this other good stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make Genosha part of what they like to say, the UN. So now it's sanctioned by the UN. So you can't just go to Genosha. The mutants have this property. And I'm like, cool, cool, cool. So there's a lot of good things that is taking place and it's happening now for the mutants because Magneto stepped in and he did everything the right way. And that means he persevered, he took the L, he allowed them to arrest him, even though he could have caused nothing but havoc. He came in there like a G for everyone's betterment. And at the end of it, you can see that Cyclops or Mr. Summers, he was still in his bag, and he was like, "Look, I'm ready to take my wife and take my son, and we gonna dip." And then all of a sudden, it was like boom, 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 knock at the door, and guess who it was? It was Jean Grey. But Jean Grey was right there looking at Jean Grey. And at the same time, Logan's on the tree, sitting on the tree, soaking, and Morph has to turn into Sabretooth and give him some cheese and give him some chips and some beer. And it looked like he had to wrestle with him, which I don't understand that and what that insinuates or means. But it was a lot. But the one thing I will sit there and say is that I've been a fan of X-Men. X-Men is like one of my favorite. It is my favorite cartoon. I made like a couple TikTok reels and everything else. Just excited about today. Took a picture, pulled out some of my uncanny. I pulled out one uncanny X-Men and I showed that in the photo. But yet and still, I was really excited about it, and I was scared because I didn't know if this was going to be good or not. And overwhelmingly, I have to say this: it was really, really good. The animation was good. The story is magnificent. Um, I was anticipating more. The first episode was confusing, but I'm going to read up now and understand. I'll try to get some logic as to why the creator of X-Men 97 was fired. Um, and move forward from there. But the show comes out like every Wednesday, and I definitely think it's worth the view. And if I had to rate it thus far based upon the first two episodes, look, man, I'm gonna give the first episode. The first episode was really like it was a really like a 7 out of 10 because the Sentinel scene with Trask that kind of happened like real expeditiously. But seeing Magneto come through at the end and put the foot down and then transition into the Magneto episode, the Magneto episode was like a 10 out of 10. So it was a perfect setup. They gave you one just to get your feet wet. And then episode two, they gave you just like everything. And I think that for a show to be off the air for 26, 27 years, and then they continue it, they did this one justice, and they kind of beefed it up because, like I said, I was 13, 14 then. Dude, I'm 40 now. I'm right here for all the subplots. The only thing I really got to ask them about is that, look, it was a year in their time, right? Logan still got the same yellow plano shirt, the same wool collar coat, the same pork chops. Nothing changed about him, even his terminology within a year. Rogue and Magneto got something going on where they could touch hands. Morph is out here morphing for the comic relief. Gambit, I don't know what's to make of him and what's going to happen. He's definitely in his feelings. Jubilee, she's definitely representing. And there's a new character, and they kind of brought him along, and he was part of the original. I think they call him. I don't want to give the name away, but I probably am going to give the name. His name. I'm going to give you his government name, right? His government name is Roberto. So they introduced us to Roberto, and Roberto has some powers, but they ain't go too heavy on him after the first episode. But he got some things to him that we're probably going to find out later on in the season. and see how he ties into this. Beast is obviously the scientist, and I think he's going to continue. I would love to see some other cool cameos. Like you said, the Warlock was in there. I wasn't, they were there with, and more turned into the Blob for a quick spell. But I would really like to get into like, a Quicksilver. I would like to see his daughter, which is I forgot the witch. What is her name? But we all know her, the Scarlet Witch. Yeah, I would like to see that. I don't know if they're gonna do like the animated series and infuse like Spider-Man and Fantastic Four and some of those cameos up in here. They might keep those intellectual properties separate, at least for the first two seasons. I don't know. But it went fast paced. It really went to the Sentinels, to the FOH, to Magneto taking over and dealing with the politics. And it was a lot of reference points to reference to the tie-in with the civil rights. That's just where I see it. I'm a black guy. That's just how I see it. That's how I call it. But as far as someone who loves the X-Men and who enjoys the animated series, unlike Echo, this gives me reason to keep my Disney subscription. And I definitely think I like this already more than I like the Marvel What Ifs. Like Marvel What If, the first season was good, the second season was just over the top, and how it ended. I hope they don't come out with no more What Ifs. Even though I love Jeffrey Wright's voice as whatever the Guardian or whatever character he is, but to stay where I need to. Like I said, episode 2 was a 10 out of 10, 7 out of 10. That's 17 out of 10. That's like an 80% rating. And I know I, in my heart, confidently he's going to get better because I seen the animation evolve as well as the character. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of breathing room. I hope they do justice with Logan, but then again, Logan has had so much firepower and star power, and they got X-Men. I mean, they got Deadpool and Wolverine coming out in July, so I can see where they're not going to give them as much shine as they would give others. But yet and still, I really enjoyed what I watched, and I really thank you guys so much for your time. Let me see if there's any comments. Anybody chime in, say anything? Nope, I had no comments, nothing. So I want to thank you guys so much so for watching this live stream, and be sure to go ahead, like, follow, and subscribe. And until the next video, you guys know when I'm getting ready to straight up.